Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another film review. Tonight we are looking at film I've been so looking forward to, Immaculate. To tell you a bit about the film, go to my trusty little book in my Jim Royal glasses. Right, okay, so Immaculate. It's a 2024 film. Certification 18. It runs for 1 hour 29 minutes. It stars Sydney Sweeney, Alvaro Morte. It's directed by Michael Mohan. It's screenplays by Andrew LaBelle. Cinematography is by Elijah Christian, and music is by Will Bates. All these people that say that modern horror is rubbish, you're talking rubbish. This film is fantastic. It's absolutely incredible. It's probably the best modern horror film I've seen since The Witch. It's fantastic. A little synopsis of the film, because I don't want to give too much away. It's based on Cecilia, who's played by Sydney. What's her surname again? Sydney Sweeney, and she plays a fantastic part in this film. She plays a young American nun who's come to Italy, and she's gone there to take her vows at this sort of a convent for nuns, and this convent's a slightly different one because it's one that looks after older nuns who are just about to die, and they're there to look after them in their last sort of days. So she's gone there to take her vows, and we meet her, we meet some of the other nuns, and they're so pleased that she's arrived. And there's one young nun that's very, very jealous of her, and another one sort of befriends her. We meet our priest and our bishop, and she takes her vows. And all seems well and good, and she's sort of taught all the ways of the convent, where she's has to look after the sick nuns and do the washing of the bedding and help prepare the food and all this sort of thing. And she befriends one of the nuns, and all the elder nuns seem to like her. Even these sick patients, they start thinking she's a saint. And then she goes to one part of this convent where I don't think she's supposed to go, where she sees this one nun deep in prayer, laying face down on the ground, doing deep in prayer. And one of the elderly nuns goes in there and talks to her and shows her this long iron nail, which supposedly is one of the nails that was used to crucify Jesus. And she holds it in her hand, and then she starts to feel ill and collapses. And then they start doing some tests on her, and they find out she's with child, but she's never had sex with anyone. And they start questioning her really quite harshly, the priest and that, saying, you know, that, are you sure? And they start doing tests and find that, you know, her virginity has not been lost. So they look at this as a miracle, as the Immaculate Conception, if you like. This is like a sort of will of God, because at the beginning of the film, Cecilia doesn't know what direction she's going in, and she starts thinking that she's got more to give, and God's got some sort of will for her. And the priest convinces her this is it. So then all the nuns and everybody at the place start treating her like a saint. So when she walks into the room, they all stand up and all this, and they all like gasp, and they see her, that she is the Holy One, like Mary. And so all this sort of thing goes on, and then the 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 young nun that doesn't like her tries to kill her and drown her in her bath, but fails miserably. But there's a hidden history in this convent, because at the beginning of the film, one of the nuns is trying to escape and she gets caught, and we see her get dragged back into the into the convent, and she's then buried alive. So there's a hidden secret in here, which I'm not going to tell you because I want you to watch it and find out. But while she's pregnant and all there being wonderful things, all these strange things start happening. She starts having weird visions. A nun kills herself by jumping off the top of the convent. All these sort of things happen throughout the film. And the film then takes a sort of turn, and the story sort of progresses, and then it comes for a battle for survival. And that's all the synopsis I'm going to give you. The film is fantastic. It's absolutely incredible. I do love religious horror anyway, and I do quite like non-exploitation, if you like, films, as this does elements of it. As this is filmed in Italy, it has that little bit of an Italian horror film feel to it. It's got a very, very Dario Argento sort of Suspiria sort of feel to the film throughout the performances and the photography and the way it sort of plays out. In Suspiria, the girl's gone there for her ballet and she finds the hidden history. This one is a nun gone to a convent and she finds the history. So it's got elements that are quite similar. And this film is a wonderful film. There's some absolutely disturbing, gory deaths in the film. And it reminds me of so many sort of films. You know, it's a very clever film. There's elements of like The First Omen, and there's also elements from Demonia, an old Italian, non-exploitation sort of film. There's so much going on, and it's wonderful. And Sydney Sweeney's performance is absolutely fantastic. She plays the part really convincingly, and she looks when she's terrified. It made me shiver. You know, I got chills down my back when she looks terrified. She's got this absolute aura about her, and I'm hoping she does more horror films, because this was fantastic. She's only a young girl, she's in her 20s, but she was absolutely fantastic. And the cast were really, really good. And as the story sort of unfolds, you get to sort of you get to feel for her. You feel there's just some sort of entrapment. This doesn't seem right, you know, like some sort of that film, The House That Screamed. I reviewed that. It's got elements of that also in the film, where something doesn't seem right, or there's like a big secret, and she's sort of like hidden amongst this. And as the film sort of progresses, she needs to start fighting for her sanity and her way out, because she's getting sucked in. First of all, she seems to believe almost that she is this sort of saint that is carrying this new gift from God, if you like. And the story sort of progresses, and she discovers that this isn't what it's made out to be, as she finds writings on her wall in her bedroom, and she reads them into the Bible and the New Testament, and it refers to Satan, some of the things. So it's like, you know, it uncovers, but it doesn't tell you the whole truth, and I love that. The pluses of this edition: it looks wonderful. It looks really, really cool. Brilliantly shot. Amazing photography. The kills are full on. They're on screen, which is perfect. The acting's really stellar. Really played well, and it's well scripted. It's a great story. Really, really cool story, and it's absolutely amazing. It's an essential watch. I'm scoring it 10 out of 10. It's fantastic, absolutely amazing. There's not one film I didn't. There's not one bit of film I didn't like. The pacing was good. It was quite slow, so you can get that sort of religious build up and get to know the convent. I keep wanting to say monastery. That's for monks, isn't it? The convent, and you sort of just and you even work out yourself. There's something not quite right about this place. Well, the first scenes gives that away, but you try to forget that first scenes. That was probably the only negative. I don't think it required the first scene. Um, I know we're trying to show the convent there's something not right about it, but we could have figured that out ourselves by the characters' behaviour and performances and the strange sort of things that they do. Like, she's pregnant, but they won't let her go to the hospital. You know, and it's all this sort of thing. It just sort of like unfolds into this wonderful, wonderful horror film, and it's absolutely incredible. Immaculate, 10 out of 10. Any of you guys seen it? Let me know if you have down below. It'd be really interesting to find out. It's only came out this year. It had a cinema release the same time as The First Omen, and me and the lad chose to see The First Omen, which I don't regret. It's a fantastic film, but I kind of wish we did a double feature. But there again, two religious films, a little bit similar in content, might have been a bit too much for one day, and we might have just not have enjoyed it as much. But leaving it a few months down the line and picking it up on its Blu-ray release, absolutely wonderful. I wish there was a collector's edition. I wish this was done by Second Sight or someone like that, and it had a collector's edition, even Studio Canal, and it got like a collector's edition. That would have been fantastic. Special features on here, there's none. There's a commentary, that's it. So again, that's a little bit of a fail, but it doesn't take that away from the film. Brilliant, guys. Please watch this film if you haven't, but be warned, there's some gory scenes. If you've seen the gory scenes in the film, oh, let me try and see if I can see it. There it is. No, it's not it. What's that film called? Can't remember, but it's it's the one when they go to Sweden to like a cult, and there's some gory scenes. It's called Summer something. I've reviewed it on my channel, but there's some scenes in that that's quite disturbing, and there's scenes like this that's similar to that. So be prepared for that. But apart from that, it's one of the best modern horror films I've seen in years. Till my next video, please check out some horror channels. Check out Horror Hands, Horror Geek, Man v Film, RS Designs, Pizzawell, I Am the Ice Lord, Cat Watches Horror Movies, Grumpy Andrews, Haunted House. And a massive shout out to my lad who's also got this, and I hope you enjoy it when you watch it, mate. Just be warned, there's some brutal scenes in it, but it's an amazing film. Till next time, look after yourselves, look after one another, and I really hope I'll see you all soon.